liebe Aktienfreunde, hier ist wieder Michael Adams von Stock Telegraph TV. Ich melde mich heute wieder aus Beaver Creek vom Precious Metals Summit und habe heute einen speziellen Gast, und zwar Miller O'Prey. Er ist President and CEO von Solvista Gold Corp. Solvista wird an der T6 Venture gehandelt unter dem Symbol SVV. Miller, thanks for giving me the chance to ask some questions, and I'm quite curious what your answers will be. So first, I think the German audience is not really aware of Solvista and the story. Your projects are in Colombia, so could you just give us an overview about what Solvista is all about?
Okay, thanks, Michael. Thanks for the opportunity to get to know the German market a little bit better. We have some European investors from Germany, but it's always nice to be spreading the story to new people.
Right.
Solvista is a relatively early stage gold focused exploration company with 2 projects in Colombia.
Okay.
The company was formed in 2010 and went public in 2011. We have one gold copper porphyry project, okay, and one high grade gold silver epithermal vein deposit, both in the Antioquia province of Colombia, near the city of Medellin.
Okay.
So over the past 2.5 years, we've been exploring and drilling both the projects and making discoveries at both our properties as well.
Okay. Being in Colombia, and you probably know about thoughts some people have about Colombia. So what's the safety situation in Colombia right now? Because you're on the ground, you can give us like a first view.
Okay, I've lived there since 2005, full time, so I don't consider Colombia to have any real security issues, as long as you're sensible and don't go to places that you shouldn't go to. And
but that's all over the world, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't see it any different than New York or London. I feel much safer in Medellin than I do in most cities in North America.
Okay, that's good. So what are the latest results, or what stage are the 2 projects in? Is that still early exploration? How many meters did you already drill? So
at Caramanta, our first phase drilling was 8,000 meters. We completed that in April of this year, and all the results were released in the second quarter of this year. So we have some very long intercepts of over 450 meters at 1.4 grams per ton gold equivalent.
Wow.
320 meters at 1.7 gold equivalent on the El Retén target within our Caramanta property. And on other targets that we drilled, in total we drilled 3 at our second target, Ayacucho. We had 350 meters at over a gram per ton gold equivalent, gold, copper in equal amounts, and 290 meters at 1.1 grams per ton gold equivalent. So okay, we've had some very good success. We've only drilled 8,000 meters in total, 27 holes. We still have a lot more exploration to do, but so far the results have been very encouraging from the project.
Okay. And are you drilling right now? Or?
We're drilling right now. We just started our second phase of drilling last week. So in our first phase of drilling the 8,000 meters, we drilled 3 of the targets that we have defined, and in this round of drilling we're going to drill another 2 targets to the north. So we will have a total of 5 porphyry targets drilled within a 2 kilometer area, more or less in a north-south strike, and we will be trying to find out what the geology is there and understand how that relates to the 3 targets we've already drilled to the south, and obviously try to increase the potential for a gold resource and a copper resource at the project.
Okay, and how about the infrastructure? Is there roads, or how do you access the project? How's your access to water and electricity?
The reason why we selected these two projects to put into Solvista was obviously first of all they had the geological potential, which is the most important, but also because they had good infrastructure and good logistics. We have paved roads to both the towns where our geologists live and stay. We have good dirt road access directly into the property. We have nearby hydroelectric dams that produce very cheap energy.
Okay.
We have very large rivers nearby for water supply. We have high tension electricity cables running within 3 or 4 kilometers of both the projects.
Okay.
So I mean, obviously in a mine construction scenario, work will be needed to complement that, but the basis is there for for providing for a relatively low capex in terms of a production scenario, and for where we are now, for making our exploration much more efficient and quicker and easier than what it would be in other parts of the world where helicopter support is required and things like that.
Okay, so talking about the management team, which is really important for every mining company, what's the expertise of the management team? Is that more like the discovery, the development, or the production? Because you mentioned production,
Mm-hmm.
so is the end game, is that going into production, or is it like setting up a turnkey solution or a turnkey project which will probably be taken over by a bigger company?
The experience of the management right now is focused on discovery and resource definition.
Okay.
But within the group in Toronto, we have experience to take projects right through to production, and I think really any exploration company that starts up in this game should always be thinking about taking their project right to the very end.
I agree.
And set up a structure to be able to do that. That doesn't mean that if somebody comes along during that path and says that they think they can do it better and give you a big check, and you take that and go off and start again. So
I totally agree.
So we always plan to take it right to the very end, but we're always open to to good value propositions for the company and its shareholders.
Okay. And Miller, you mentioned that there's a group in Toronto supporting you. So Solvista is attached to a bigger group?
Solvista was born out of a joint venture between a private merchant bank in Toronto called Norvista Resources, which is founded and run by the people who were behind Consolidated Thompson, which was a mine put into production,
okay.
$1 billion capex and sold for $5 billion to Cliffs back in the early part of 2011.
And Desert Sun?
And Desert Sun prior to that was sold for $750 million to Yamana. Getting towards the end of the development phase. So as I say, the expertise on the capital market side has been to always to move the projects towards the end goal. But if someone comes along at any stage in that and makes a good value proposition, then you have to consider that.
Okay, so what's the market cap right now, approximately?
The market cap right now is about $12 million.
Okay.
And we have approximately $6 million still of cash in the bank.
So the market gives a value of $6 million to the project
right now. That's correct.
Okay. So there's some upside.
Yeah, we see considerable upside there. We're trading close to historic lows. The market hasn't been favorable generally. The market hasn't been overly favorable in the past 12 months to projects in Colombia. So we suffered a little bit from that, despite the fact that we've made good discoveries and we feel we've added a lot to the projects and we don't seem to be getting the recognition we feel that we should be getting right now.
Okay. So are there any other companies around your projects?
So our nearest neighbours at our Caramanto project we share land boundaries with I.V.m Gold,
okay.
With Tech Resources, and with Anglo Gold Ashanti. So
not bad names.
So we're in there with the big boys.
Yeah.
Obviously we have Kinross, who are involved in Solvista, and they help to give us a little bit more financial muscle as well.
Right.
But definitely we're in a part of Colombia in the Middle Cauca Belt that has good potential for some M&A activity if one or two of these projects start to show the goods. None of the projects have a resource. They're all early stage, early drilling projects. So I think it's a part of the district that isn't quite as advanced perhaps as Marmato or the Buritica project of Continental Gold, but has that potential in the future for sure.
Okay. So for the next couple of months until the end of 2013, or maybe for the first 2 quarters of 2014, what are the next major catalysts for the company, so that hopefully the stock price will appreciate what the company has?
Well, our simple model is to add value through discovery. That's what we're doing now by drilling these 2 targets. When we announced the initial results from the drilling last year, which was the first drill holes on the property, our stock went as high as $1.30.
Wow.
It's
trading at 10 cents right now?
And it's trading at 17 cents right
17 cents, okay.
So, we know that the market does react to good news when it comes. So it's just a matter now of drilling the holes and getting the results in and preparing that information and getting it into the public market. That's what we'll be doing over the next couple of months. We've also started de-risking the projects with metallurgical test work, very preliminary flotation test work, but the results we've seen so far have been quite positive, and we obviously will continue doing that over the next while as well, and try to de-risk the project on all those different fronts. So increase the potential size of the resource, and also start to show that the gold in the ground can actually be turned into gold bars, which is what actually is worth something at the end of the day.
Wow. Sounds very good to me, very interesting. I will definitely follow the story. Thank you for giving me this first insight.
No, you're more than welcome, and it's always good to spread the story, and we're always very happy to have anybody who wants to come and visit us in Colombia. We can take them to site and show them the project very easily in a day or 2 days, and they can you can get a real flavour of what we're doing.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.